in our experience, ESG greatly impacts credit quality, and it has for just about as long as we've been doing credit ratings. Now, ESG is something that can impact a lot of different stakeholders. When we talk about credit quality, we're interested in how it impacts the company's ability to repay debt. So certainly you can imagine events or trends in the ESG space that are material to equity holders, that are material to communities and customers and employees, but might not rise to the level of potentially influencing credit ratings. And so we try to make that separation pretty clear, that when we consider ESG and credit ratings, we're doing so in the spirit of understanding how it impacts the company's ability to repay its debt over the long term. And to be sure, it has been impactful to credit quality, and I'd say that increasingly we are attempting to provide disclosure on how different factors within ESG influence credit quality.
The COVID pandemic has laid very bare the importance of stakeholders and the cascading effects across different stakeholder groups from important black swan type events like COVID. So we have this infographic that we have here, and we've watched the way that the COVID pandemic has hit companies in particular. Right, there was the initial concerns and continued concerns around the health and safety of employees and facilities, to managing their workforce, to protect against potential transmission of COVID, and then other organizational implications from work from home measures and other operational disruptions and changes to address the COVID impact. But we've also seen that then extend into other stakeholder groups, external stakeholders. We recognize that, public health concerns and social distancing have triggered economic downturns, and obviously there's been political implications as well. And we're seeing these cascading effects continue to persist as we move through the pandemic in different countries and different companies. Addressing the impacts of the pandemic in their own terms. We've seen quite a bit of credit rating activity related to COVID in particular. If I can quote some statistics for you all, between April and June of this year, we've seen 1,500 ESG-related rating and outlook changes occurring directly from COVID-19 and the health and safety effects.
Is that as economies around the world begin to emerge from COVID and seek to put together stimulus packages to respond to the economic impacts of COVID, we'll be keen to see which of these actually include significant provisions for green infrastructure and for the energy transition. Obviously, there's a need in these stimulus packages to create sustainable job growth, and certainly the energy transition is one opportunity to do that. Now, obviously, in parts of the world, there's political intransigence that makes that more difficult. But nonetheless, we're seeing this as billed as an opportunity in some economies to help facilitate an energy transition that in some parts of the world is at this point long overdue and needs to accelerate in order to align with the goals of the Paris Agreement that Karina alluded to in her section there.